Loaded bases, Josh Burgmann. How's it going?
Good, Mace. How you doing, man?
Hey, just trying to not die in all the smoke up here.
There you go. You're up in the Pacific Northwest, right?
Yeah, I'm in central Washington State.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, my parents are in BC, and even like my fiance in Alberta,
Mm.
up like they're feeling the effects pretty hard right now. I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
think it's as bad in Alberta, but definitely in BC, it's been pretty.
yeah. It's I know. Was it last summer or the summer before? There was the fires. Like there's big fires up in BC, and then
Yeah.
like cause that smoke pretty much like covered up the whole entire. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean the whole state. It was rough.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy, and I've been reading about it and just seeing how devastating it's been for everybody. So I hope everybody's, bouncing back from it. Hopefully here soon, and it's all going to go away. But yeah, it's been a tough summer up there.
Yeah, it's I know that the smoke and me we just don't get along. I mean, I've been seen the past 48 hours. I think I've slept about 30 just because of like all the hour and then like all the allergies like from the smoke. And it's just dude, I mean like but like I could not reschedule this again.
No, absolutely not.
We are here. We're finally
We're
here.
here. We're doing it.
So, Josh, what do you do? Who do you play for?
I play for the Chicago Cubs organization, right-handed pitcher. Yeah, I mean, this is I guess, technically my third year with the club. I guess 2.5 years with the club. I got drafted in 2019 by them, and then played short season A ball in Eugene for a summer, and then obviously with the COVID year, but they still gave us the year of service time. So technically, I guess this would be my second full year, I guess technically, but with the COVID year, it doesn't really count. But yeah, so that's how I've been with them ever since I got drafted in 19, and it's been great. I love the organization. They've been really great to me so far. It's been a bit of a trying year for me this year,
Yeah.
but being able to play, but it's I'm grateful that they have the staff in place that they do here when I've been rehabbing. So it's been good.
So yeah, you play for my favorite team. So that's kind of a big one.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm hyped. I'm hyped for you to be a part of this organization.
Hell yeah. Heck yeah, man.
So yeah, because so you played for University of Washington as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I went there from 2016 to 2019. I was there for 3 years.
So how'd you like living up here in Washington State?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I'm not a big city person myself personally.
Yep.
I enjoyed it though. We were kind of like 5 minutes north from downtown Seattle, so you had like kind of that separation a little bit.
Oh yeah.
From the craziness a little bit. So, I mean, that was nice, but at the same time, I'm more of a small town kid. But it was a beautiful area, right on the water, right on Montlake,
Yep.
Can't complain about the views there. I mean, the football team was good. The basketball team was good when I was there. Yeah. And we had one of my 3 years, we ended up going to the College World Series. So, I mean, it was a pretty special there at UW. So definitely some years that I'll never forget for sure.
So yeah, so did you ever go party on Greek Row?
No, I wasn't a big partier, so I didn't really go to Greek Row.
Yeah, it's
go at all the Greek Row.
So that gets wild up there.
That's what I've heard.
Especially on college football game days, it gets rowdy.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So okay, so you're from BC.
Yes.
And okay, so what was it like, I guess, like playing up there, like being from a small town? Well, I mean, like, so how did you get in front of scouts from bigger schools, like being from a small town up there?
Yeah, so originally I'm from, I guess, I mean, it's not really super small, but like coming from Nanaimo, British Columbia, up on Vancouver Island.
Yep.
It's about 100, probably about 100,000 people. So, I mean, not huge, but also not tiny.
Yeah.
I played summer ball there, spring ball there, up until I was 15. Then when I was 15, I made the choice. I got recruited to go to a baseball academy in Southern Alberta in a really small town. Like we're talking 1,000 people, like tiny.
That's small place.
Yeah, but the main attraction was this baseball academy. And so we had a family friend who he went there for 1 year, and I was going to go there for 3 years. So they had nothing but great things to say about it. So I ended up making the choice to go there. So we lived in we lived in a dorm with 21 other guys.
Oh, wow.
And basically what the deal was is you live in the dorm. Baseball field was right across the street. Our weight room was attached to the dorm, and then the weight room was attached to the public school that was there. So that was the school that we attended. So it was basically like going to college before going to college.
Okay, so you're saying like that you pretty much went to high school to play baseball.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, definitely was it was a huge factor knowing like the success that they had as a program, moving guys to the next level. So that was obviously a really big focal point for me, and thinking, okay, if I want to do what I want to do in this game, this is probably a step that I'm going to have to make and want to make. Not that, I mean, Nanaimo was a great program, and they've pumped out some good players coming from there, but just in order for me personally to feel like I could take my game that much further into that next level, I felt like going to the academy in Vauxhall was really important for me, and it helped me in so many different ways that I didn't even realize kind of while I was there, and kind of like as I first couple of years when I was gone, and I just kind of sat back and learned and kind of realized, oh wow, like this had a lot of effect on me, not just from a baseball perspective, but from a human perspective, and like time management and learning how to doing my own laundry, getting me ready for
growing up fast.
Yeah, getting me ready
fast.
Letting me get ready for what's going to come next, so that was definitely a big part of it.
So let's see, because I remember, so like in high school, like for Legion ball, but then like we would play in tournaments, and we would play against a team from Nanaimo, and then see who else we play. Team from Regina, Saskatchewan. Because they would all like come down like to play, and I mean they come down to play. Like that's, I mean,
they're tough, and like kind of answering your question about like how I was able to basically with the academy, like we went on trips. We came to the States, went to Vegas for a tournament. We went to Montana for a tournament. But the big thing for me, especially in like high school, probably I ended up playing on the Canadian junior national team for 2.5 years. So that was probably a really big part. I mean, obviously from the pro perspective, but also from the college perspective, being able to go down to the States. Like we would go down to Florida 3 times a year, played in games down there against pro teams. I mean, we went all over the world. I ended up going to the World Championships in my junior year. Then the summer of my junior year, going into my senior year, we ended up going to Japan, Australia. Like,
damn.
Took me all over that team really kind of took me all over the world. It was, a pretty cool experience, but definitely that helped. And then obviously, I went to the big, probably one that really stood out was I went to the area code game tryouts. At Lewis and Clark. And that was probably where like things really started to take off for me, like in terms of like Pac-12 schools.
Was that at LC State or Lewis and Clark Community College?
LC State, like the
LC State. Okay, yeah. So that's in Lewiston, Idaho.
Yeah. Yes. So we were there. So I went there for a tryout. Then like started to hear from a lot of Pac-12 schools, and that's when I kind of really started to kind of the wheels were in motion for Pac-12 offers, and then ended up going to the games because I did well to try out. So, and it just kind of like reaffirmed everything, and talking to those schools, visiting those schools, and kind of just making a decision from there, which I landed on UW. So that was definitely a big part of it.
How come you chose UW?
It's interesting, like, because I was down in Washington for a tournament. And we just finished up that tournament. I messaged the coaches just saying like, hey, it was a Sunday. Can I stop by, like do an unofficial visit, kind of just say hi to you guys, talk to you.
Just get your name out there and then like your face in front of them.
Talk to them. And, they had been recruiting me already at this time. And like they wanted me to obviously come on a visit. And I was like, okay, well, let's do something where I can come in and whatnot. And it was a Sunday, usually in the summer, like coaches are either recruiting or they're taking time with their families, especially on Sundays. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't really expect a whole lot, but like literally every single member of the coaching staff came in that day, said hi to me, made me feel really welcome, made me feel like really like, okay, they really want me, if they're doing this, they're making me feel comfortable, making me feel kind of like at home. I just really, and I fell in love with the place. The campus was beautiful and all those sorts of things. So, I mean, it was really from that moment on, like it was a tough decision, but it was like from that moment, I kind of was like, okay, I think this is ended up where I really want to go.
UW is a place to be.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely a spot for sure. I mean, the when you get there, like kind of in the beginning of the year, it's beautiful. And then like a lot of rain, obviously during the winter.
Yeah.
I don't mind that, honestly. Like
I'd say, cause you're kind of used to that though.
Yeah. In BC, it's kind of similar,
Yeah.
so I was good with it. But then in kind of spring, late spring, early part of the summer, like it's beautiful again. So
it's nice.
Yeah. So.
Well, yeah. Cause like with like the small town stuff, like in the Pac-12, you got Washington State University, which is like small town, like down in Pullman.
Yeah.
That's in the middle of nowhere down there.
Yeah.
But it is, I'd say, because that's kind of close to like Lewiston too.
Yeah, I remember when we went, it was like Pullman, like 30 minutes this way, and then like Lewiston was like 30 minutes the other way. So
it's not bad. I mean, like, dude, like I'm hyped that you played for the Pac-12 and then now you're in the Cubs organization. It's like, dude, way to do it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was crazy because in high school, I got picked by the Cardinals in like the 30th round, just so that, if things changed or whatnot, like that I would, they picked me just to have my rights and whatnot. So I was like, in this whole situation leading up to the draft, I was like, kind of like, I have a 1A, 1B situation. If things work out with the drafts at high school, I felt mentally, physically ready to go and play pro ball. Mainly because of like the academy and then the junior national team, like I've already played against pro guys, kind of have a feel for what the process is.
You're all like ready for it.
Yeah. So, and then it was just like, it ended up didn't work the way that we thought it would, or the way we wanted it to go. So I was like, you know what, man, I have like a great situation going to UW. I got a chance to play for a Pac-12 team and compete in one of the best conferences in the nation. And so, I mean, yeah, it was just a great situation.
Yeah. So, okay. So then you were drafted, so out of high school, but then go to UW, and I'm almost 99% sure that I can assume that you were glad that you went to UW.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I was, mainly because I had just the experiences that I had there that I realized that I would never get if I went into pro ball right away. I mean, there's things to be said, pros either way. Like, no doubt that in high school going into pro ball, like they're going to take care of you really well. Like, not saying that they don't with our college guys too. They value all the guys the same, but they're almost a little extra careful with the high school guys, making sure they move at a little bit slower pace than the college guys.
Yeah.
But I never would have had the experience of going to the College World Series, meeting the guys that I did.
True.
I created relationships there that, will carry with me for the rest of my life. So, I can't say, like, everything happens for a reason in life, and, it worked out the way I wanted it to, and I'm here now. So, I just couldn't be more grateful for how everything kind of played out.
And then you get the phone call saying that you're drafted by the Cubs in the 5th round.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
How was that?
Pretty surreal experience. I mean, I was actually at my sister's college graduation. We were sitting in the auditorium, so it was kind of crazy. I was kind of going in and out of the auditorium, like taking phone calls, text, talking about, okay, you could go here, let's talk to these guys, like, all these possibilities. And then kind of like as the ceremony, her like graduation ceremony was ending, I kind of went outside, and then we were kind of just sitting on the bench outside, and my fiance now says to me that, oh, like, I hadn't even heard yet, and she's like, Twitter is like, yo, you got picked by the Cubs. I was like, what's going on? So yeah, it was kind of crazy, but no, it was definitely a very cool experience, very surreal, lifelong dream, obviously. But there's the next dream is obviously to make it and to get there, and taking steps forward now to realize that dream. And I mean, it's taken a little bit of a step back this year, a little bit, but we're on the positive side of everything now. So it's looking up and up from now on.
And say, because where are you at right now?
Yeah, I'm down in Arizona at our spring training complex. I've been here all year. I haven't been able to play. I've been dealing with kind of some nagging shoulder problems all year.
Yeah.
It's been frustrating. I mean, physically now I feel great. Mentally, it was kind of a grind. Just
Yeah, oh, yeah.
trying to figure out what's going on, and we think we figured
That's
out
tough.
yeah, and we think we found a solution. So I mean, it took some time. The worst part is, it hurts, and then you sit down for a bit, and then you build back up, and that takes a lot of time.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then feel good again, then we're taking more time down, and then you got to build back up. So yeah, it's just been a process. It's been a long road, but I think we figured out what's going on, and we kind of are very confident in what the
Yeah.
problem, the solution that we came up with, and just kind of moving forward from here, and don't really want to think about it too much anymore, and just kind of get back to competing, get back to throwing in games and playing against other guys. That's ultimately what I want to do. I want to compete against the best players in the world, and that's what you get in pro baseball. So
Hey, that is for sure. That's for sure. Well, yeah, because
yeah,
I had because I had my shoulder redone in college, and
yeah,
that's a long rehab, and I mean
yeah,
that's not fun. And then a partially torn UCL in the elbow,
yeah.
and then I didn't want to get that done, so I just said like I'm done hanging it up. I'm like
Yeah.
we're done, because like the mental side of it, that was like
Yeah, that's the
dude,
thing
that
is that
kills you.
a lot of this whole rehab like part of things, especially when other guys are, I'm happy for other guys. They're going out, they're having success, but it's at the same time, it's tough. You want to be out there, you want to
Yeah,
compete.
you want to be there like with your guys.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of it, like 50%, I honestly think 50% of it's mental and 50% of it is physical. It can be really tough. It can be really hard on you. I went through it in college as well with my torn UCL. I ended up getting Tommy John surgery.
Yep.
So, I mean, that was a long, long road. And fortunately, there was guys at school that had it before that kind of helped me along in the progression of what was going on, kind of expecting timelines, what's going to happen here, what's
Yeah.
going to happen road, so it was really good from a mental perspective in that way. And that's probably what was probably harder about that. Was in probably more pain physically, the whole Tommy John thing, but the mental side of things this year has just been a little bit up in the air, because at first we didn't have a definitive answer about solution or what was going on. I mean, we had thoughts and kind of trying to figure out what was working, and then when it didn't work, it was just kind of like, well,
back to square one on that one.
Yeah, I mean, at the end, the MRI shows the results, and we get the results, and then when you take the best course of action in their minds, and you hope it works, and I mean, it didn't, but it is what it is, and we're hoping now that we're on the right track. So that's it. A lot more lately, it's been kind of more positive from a mindset. So that's really good. I mean, and with the season ending here soon, I'll be able to go home, see my fiance. I mean, we're getting married in November, early part. So yeah, no, really,
congrats.
Really, yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, really excited for that. So I'm excited to see her, excited to see the family again. So it'll be good.
So yeah, it is a absolute grind in the minors, man. It is.
Yeah, I mean, you think about some of these guys this year. It's a little. I wouldn't say. I mean, it's a little different, I guess.
Yeah.
Because season they're doing series by week, so they have games in one spot. I mean, I personally, I don't know what it's like, but I've talked to some of the guys that have come back, and a lot of them said that they personally have liked it, honestly, from a perspective of where you are for the whole week. You can kind of settle into that, especially if you're not. Even if you go on a long road trip to get there, you usually have the day off, the next day off.
Yep.
And then
because like every Monday's the off day.
Yeah, and I mean, down here in Arizona, they get every Sunday off.
Okay.
Or get every Sunday off. So I mean, it's a little different, I guess, for us. But yeah. So a lot of them have said like it's been great. Like you kind of settle in. You get, you're going to be here for a full week. You don't you settle into the hotel or wherever you're staying. So yeah, I mean, from that perspective, I think they said that they've liked it in that regard.
Say, like so on your Sundays and Mondays, what do you do? What do you do to kill time?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, it's so hot outside right now here in Arizona. Yep. Not really a ton to do outside. I just try to catch up on sleep.
Hell yeah.
Binge watch some TV shows, play little video games when I get the chance.
What do you play for video games?
I'm a big like sports gamer, so I'll play. I'm a big hockey guy, so I play
Okay.
NHL. That's my game. I mean, I'll play a little bit of my next game that I would play probably would be PGA
Okay,
2K.
dude.
So I like PGA.
I love playing that online. You
Yeah,
can
I've
I
played
get
online.
into it.
I just play my player, So,
Dude,
but
yeah.
yeah, for my next game, play a little farming simulator too. Farming simulator. My
Yep.
fiance family back home, they're farmers, so and I got to introduce the game from them. So I kind of fun actually.
I have watched, I think I got stuck on Twitch one day and I watched someone play that for like 2 hours straight. And then I
Yeah,
just like I just sat back and I just started drinking and it was just like nice. Like
yeah. Once you kind of understand the whole like process of farming a little bit, like the baseline knowledge that I have, kind of fun, and you kind of understand it a little bit. So and it's time consuming. Like it does take some time, so it is fun.
dude, I could do that one. So okay, so there was this so I did a little bit of research on you and you said that Friends is better than The Office.
Dude, I mean, I haven't watched The Office. I've heard from other people.
Okay, then you can't say that. You
I
can't
know.
say that the Friends is better than The Office.
I've seen little blips of it, so like I haven't seen like full like seasons or episodes, but like I've heard from people. They said, "Oh man, you gotta watch it. You got like watch it like intently." I've seen like little like blips of it on TV and whatnot, but like
Dude.
me and my fiance, we're just diehard Friends people, so
Okay.
I'm Friends all the way for sure.
Oh
I've
man.
told by so many people that like The Office is like would be my type of humor, but I just have never gotten into it. It's not on Netflix anymore, so
That is true. That is that sucks. I know. I don't know what it's on now. It's on something. But I mean
yeah,
like
I know it is on some.
see, and then I see because I mean like I binge watch on Hulu Letterkenny. That's my
Yeah, dude, I totally forgot. I haven't even watched any of those yet, and that's
haven't
crazy.
watched those either?
No, I haven't. I've
Dude.
seen I've seen like little commercials about it, like back home, like of Letterkenny, and it looks hilarious. But yeah, I haven't seen any of that yet either.
We don't have commercials down here for Letterkenny. That
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
dude. Okay, well now you have two shows to start watching.
yeah, I do. Yeah,
I am upset at that one. I am upset
yeah.
that man. So okay, so for being from Canada, uh so when you're younger, would you rather have picked being a professional hockey player or baseball player?
Good question. So I played hockey growing up until I made the choice to go to Alberta, and
Yep.
that was that was honestly a really tough decision for me because I really loved playing hockey. So basically, my whole childhood, from like 6 years old on, was like
Hmm.
hockey in the winter, baseball winter, and then a little bit of spring hockey, and then like you transition to baseball like right after that, like late spring, early summer, like
Hmm.
that's baseball. So like like I said, I played my whole life. So that was really tough. And I mean, not to like toot my own horn, but like I was like like good at both of them, right? So it was a really hard choice. And like I had opportunities. I was gonna have opportunities eventually, probably to go play junior hockey. So it was definitely a tough choice, but in the end, I kind of just looked at it as a thing about like where my future was going and
Yeah.
kind of thoughts about which sport I possibly could get the most out of personally. And I mean, I love them both the same, and I still do love them. Like I love watching hockey. I love going to games when I'm back home. So I mean, yeah, it was a tough choice. I mean, if I had to, when I was probably younger, me would probably say professional hockey player, and then like now, I was probably like pro baseball player.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a younger version of me would have said hockey player for sure.
Yeah, because so in college, I went to my very first hockey game, like in person, and
Okay.
then like so we had the Wenatchee Wild, and
Ah, yes.
yeah, so then well, okay, like so I know that like my college coach like listens like to his podcast, but 100% we would get drunk on Friday nights and go to the hockey games and just get rowdy.
There you go. I feel like
Like,
that's a lot of people.
dude,
Hockey.
it's awesome.
Yeah, if you want to go to a sport that's like nonstop action, like I mean, and if you've never seen a hockey game, I strongly suggest people go to a hockey game.
Yeah.
I, I love other sports, love basketball, love football, but like there's just like football, action for 10 seconds, then you got like a little bit of break, and then like action
Yep.
again for break. With hockey, like for 20 minutes, like other than like offsides,
Dude, they're going.
like yeah, it's nonstop action. Like
I
you
mean,
can't go wrong.
say okay, so like because I moved down to Florida in 2018, so then I would go to the Florida Panthers games, and
Yeah,
then so then like 'cause I have family from Chicago, so they would be Blackhawk fans. Then I went to a game was the Panthers and the Blackhawks, and it then like, dude, I can guarantee 100% say that hockey is my favorite sport to watch in person.
yeah.
Dude, it was the I mean, let's see, like, because the Blackhawks won in OT on like 1 second left goal. Like, dude, it was insane.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, if you definitely want something that's gonna be exciting and fast and a lot of like physical contact, hockey is definitely the way to go.
so where I guess okay, so you got the Vancouver Canucks. So where
Yep.
would be the closest other NHL team to
To where
them?
I'm to where I'm living now, the closest team to us is the Calgary Flames, and then like another like couple hours north of them is Edmonton Oilers.
Okay.
But growing up in BC, I was a huge Canucks fan and still am. Like they'll never change that. But yeah, so that's my team.
And then now we have the Seattle Krakens.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Dude, I'm
I
hyped.
I was in Seattle still at UW when I think it was my last year that they announced that they were getting that team. So I was like rattled about it. I wish it was like my first year that they announced it. And then
Yeah.
like my third year, they would have had the team there, but, and I could have gone to some games, but no, it's pretty cool. I mean, they've done a really good job. They did a good job. I watched like when they had the expansion draft and all
Mhm.
that stuff. They did a good job of showing the city, showing it off, showing what it's all about. And they put together a pretty good team. Like I think they're going to be I don't think they're going to be as good as Vegas was in year 1 or
Yeah,
2.
that was
That
insane.
yeah,
That
that
was
was just,
wild.
I don't think any other expansion team will ever be like that, but they'll be good. They'll definitely be competitive for sure. And I mean, they're probably going to become rivals with the Canucks like right off the bat.
I am 1,000% for that.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, was like, okay, like so I have family in Blaine, Washington. So that's like
Okay.
right on the border. So then I went over to Surrey, BC, and like on the same day as the Blue Jays were playing in Seattle
Yeah.
was a terrible idea because it was like a 4 hour wait at the border.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's just for baseball.
Yeah, man. That's and then I mean that's another factor of why like I love baseball so much is seeing like the Blue Jays and how big of support that they have. Like
A
they go
whole
in,
country.
yeah, like it's a whole country rooting for one team. Like if they go anywhere near the border, like they go to Minnesota, which is like I think on the border
Oh, yep.
of like, Oba area and like kind of Ontario, like they go there to play the Twins. They get a ton of Blue Jays.
And you get Detroit Tigers.
Detroit, they get a ton of fans, and then obviously Seattle. Like BC, they get tons of like it's a home
Yeah.
game. Like,
Dude, it's fun to watch the Blue Jays in Seattle because like like you said, like there's so many Blue Jays fans that come down.
mm-hmm.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I think next year I think it'll be even like if the border starts opening up, which I think it will soon.
Hopefully.
Obviously, when the Jays were in Seattle, but like next year when they go to Seattle, like because the team they haven't seen the team in forever, like they might sell the whole place and it might just be Canadian people. Like I wouldn't be shocked.
I have to go. I have to go to that game then.
Yeah, man, it'll be crazy.
There's a let's see like well, so if they ever do expand the MLB, I am for expanding to Vancouver, BC, like for a team.
Yeah, I've heard that too, and I think they definitely could. They definitely could hold. They could hold it down where they could have a team there. I truly believe that. The only thing I would say is that because of how the support is of with the Blue Jays, would they want to do it? I mean, I don't know because it's so cool to have one like the whole country rooting for one.
That is true.
Which is so sweet, but I mean, yeah, for people on the West Coast, it would be a pretty cool thing to have another team there. I mean, I heard a while back about the Expos maybe coming back. I heard
That'd be cool.
there was some about like splitting the season, like half the season with Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah, dude, that would be interesting.
Yeah, that the beginning of the year they would start in Tampa Bay, and then at the end of the year they would go to Montreal. Like I heard that. I think that was a few years back now, but I
I
think
could see that though.
yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
It would be different. I mean, so I mean, because with like a lot of the people from Canada like that come down like to Florida like for the winter time,
Yeah.
it's perfect. I mean, because you're like right there, and
Hmm.
then like so they would still bring a lot of fans in.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And people in Montreal would be now. That's a fan base that would really get on board with a Canadian team again.
Or you
They
just
would,
bring like the Vancouver Expos, like you guys
yeah.
do that.
I mean, honestly, they could. Yeah, like they could do some. I mean, I think Vancouver could hold a team for sure, no doubt. They would have to build a. They'd have to build a stadium and probably have to make it definitely retractable roof, probably same as in
Oh
Toronto.
yeah, for sure,
But yeah, I think they could definitely do it.
dude. Who was like because I think the AAA Blue Jays team is in Vancouver, BC, I believe.
I believe it's their high A team. It used
Or
to be when I was in Eugene, it was their short season team, and I was kind of bummed because I got drafted, and I was like, and then we had to come down to Arizona for like 3 or
oh yeah, you were right. You were right.
yeah. So then that was like their very first road trip, the Eugene team for short season. So I missed
Mhm.
it. So I didn't get to go play there in front of like I would have had tons of family like come watch. So
Yeah.
that sucks, or it sucked, but I mean it was okay. I mean we had a good year, but yeah, that was their short season team, and then now we ended up with all these short season teams now
Mhm.
gone. We lost, so ours was Eugene. Now
Yep.
that league is now a high A league,
Yep.
so Vancouver is now the high A team for Toronto, but they're playing in Hillsborough, I believe, this year because of the border.
Yeah.
Um, but like Eugene is now San Francisco's high A team.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So I live about 45 minutes away from where the Tri-Cities Dust Devils play.
okay, yeah, we went. I remember going there in 19 when I was in Eugene.
Yep, and then yeah, I'm like a quick drive like from there. Is
Yeah,
like where I'm at in the middle of a desert.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So okay, so Eugene, so did you play with or for Travis Fitta?
No, Travis was no, I didn't play for Travis. He was. I can't remember what year. I think he was with the organization.
Was it
Uh,
18 or no 20?
in 20 as we had spring training, and then he was at. I remember
Yeah.
him, and then we got shut down, and then a bunch of things happened, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Hell
but
yeah,
yeah.
because I've had him on my podcast too, and it
Oh,
was just yeah, it was yeah, no, like because I was then like because that was when let's see, yeah, because that was before he left the organization.
okay.
Yeah, that was like during 2020.
That was tough. I mean, because of the whole COVID thing, and like a bunch of clubs are making budget. They had to do some budget cuts and whatnot. It's
Yeah,
just a bit of a nature of the beast. I mean, every year it's like that. Baseball is kind of like it's kind of crazy. You know, you come into spring training. For me, I guess this was me experiencing my first full spring training, like
that is true.
spring training in 20.
Yeah, how
Uh,
did that go down?
yeah, well, I came in. So I came in 3 weeks prior to like the whole before spring training even started
Yeah,
because I've had our guys come in like early just to like build up our arms, throw bullpens and whatnot. And anyway, we got through those 3 weeks. Everything was good, and then it was just like craziness kind of broke out from there, and it was like we were seeing stuff all over TV, and then like literally 2 days into like full spring train, 2 or 3 days into full spring training is when I was actually golfing with a couple of my teammates, and then they sent us an email saying that we're all going home and
damn.
that we need to get our flights organized with whoever was organizing our flight. Yeah, it was craziness. It was kind of, and there was a thought of like, everybody's gonna go home for a couple weeks, and then, we're gonna come back and start up again, and that
But you
just
had no idea. Like
no nobody
it was
any
tough.
clue going on, right? So it was kind of tough, and then kind of at some point I can't remember when it was, but then they finally made the decision where it was like it's not viable to have a minor league year anymore.
Yeah.
And like talking with my agent throughout that whole process of like what was going on, being at home, being in limbo, trying to stay ready, trying to find every resource possible, because it wasn't just the states that was shutting down, it was back home that was shutting down too, right?
Well, yeah, like, so how did that work out? Like, because you were told to go home, but like the borders were shutting down, like everything was shutting down. Like, so how did that all pan out?
I mean, got home and, stayed home for quite a while. Uh, just found ways to throw on my own,
Mm-hmm.
we got really creative, and on the farm, we have tractors and stuff that we had cloth like hanging from the tractor that I could just throw into like basically a net, and then we ended up buying a net. And so I mean, yeah, it was definitely tough. And then I was able to, because I live like 20 minutes away from Vauxhall, the academy.
Mm-hmm.
So I borrowed like one of their portable mounds so that I could throw bullpens. So I mean, it was a little tough. And then I mean, as it was kind of like slowing down, like in the summertime a little bit,
Yeah.
and able to like get there, get to the academy, get on field with some guys, throw like some live BPs. So I was able to get a lot of work in during the shutdown, and then it kind of got worse again in the fall. And so, but I tried to do the best I can with what I had, and I felt like I was able to do a lot more than honestly I expected.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. And I was able to make that happen. So yeah, it was just a crazy, crazy time, and
Yeah.
something I don't want to have to go through again, especially in this perspective where every year matters, and a lot, you got to be playing and moving up and, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I definitely don't want to go through that again. We got to be out on the field and got to be performing. So
Say, because that is the next move. That is the next move right there.
yeah, exactly.
Say, did you learn, or I guess, yeah. So did you learn any hobbies that you never knew that you actually enjoyed, like before COVID?
Uh,
I mean,
no,
because I've talked to a few guys and they're like, oh yeah, like cooking, like they learn to cook because like their 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 girlfriends or like fiancés are like, well, now you have time to learn how to cook for me.
yeah, no, that wasn't, I mean, we're very lucky being in the situation that we are in. Like my fiance's mom, she's pretty awesome. She cooks
Mm-hmm.
me, so that was kind of nice in that regard. She takes well, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, so I mean, in terms of hobbies, not really. I mean, I ended up doing a lot. I ended up helping out a lot on the farm, so I learned a lot more about the farm than
Yeah,
and kind of just the whole process of that. So that was, I mean, I guess that was kind of one thing that I learned a lot more about, and I helped out a lot more as much as I could, whatever I could do. So yeah, that was probably just probably the one thing I did more of, anyways.
just stay busy and working.
Yeah, man, and that was kind of like the thought process of it, trying to do as much as I can just so I wasn't thinking too much, doing all the baseball stuff that I needed to get done, on a
Yep.
daily basis. That, and then helping out with them, whatever they needed help with, whatever I could help with, just helping me keep my mind from thinking about different scenarios, and
Yeah,
just keeping me in a kind of a good headspace.
stay moving and positivity.
Yes, sir.
Don't say like, so how's your elbow now? Is it good?
It's good. Elbow's great. I mean, I haven't since Tommy John, I really haven't felt anything wrong with the elbow at all. Like this year, it was the shoulder that was giving me grief. So I'm great. I'm very happy that the elbow is fully like it's been good, and it's been holding up really well, and it's felt really healthy and back
Good.
to that. That's a really big positive, and
That's a
obviously,
huge positive. I'd
yeah. I
say
mean,
like it's like the UCL that's a
yeah,
bitch.
yeah. It's frustrating, obviously just in general, you don't want to be hurt, but obviously the positive is that the elbow is feeling good and it's feeling
Yeah.
strong.
Hey, well, dude, keep on grinding.
Yeah, absolutely,
Keep on
absolutely.
grinding. Well, let's wrap this up a little bit.
Sure.
So, okay, so let's say for another sport, what would you tell them?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Kind of cut out there for a second.
Oh, okay. So, okay, so let's say that you have a kid in high school,
Okay.
and he is either he's stuck between making the choice between baseball or another sport. Let's say football
Yeah.
or hockey.
Yeah.
what would you tell him? Which
Honestly,
one to pick?
yeah, that's the tough thing is that in my opinion, I played two sports as I played multiple sports. Like I played a year of lacrosse growing up, played some soccer growing up.
Mhm.
Like I actually did some bowling when I was younger. Like I did some things that I played as many sports as really I possibly could. Like I played basketball, high school basketball. Like, I did as much as I possibly could, just because I think it's really healthy for kids for as long as they can to keep maximize their athletic ability in playing other sports and using different muscles in different sports. And, reactionary time is different for each one and focus, all that kind of stuff. So personally, I think for as long as kids can to play multiple sports, and then the perspective of choosing, for me, really at the end of the day, a lot of it was, I love the sports that I play. I loved hockey. I loved baseball. So either way, I felt like I wasn't going to make a wrong decision.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, that's what it's got to come down to. If you love one sport over the other, then ultimately probably that's the one that you should go with, the one that you're going to enjoy the most. And it just happened to be that I enjoyed both of the sports that I played. And then obviously then like kind of the perspective of practicality, the possibility of what could you get out of this. Some kids, you might want to get a scholarship out of it, so that was also a factor for me. And kind of at the end of the day, thinking what am I going to maximize my potential in? And I would say for kids, just it's definitely a thought process to think about. But first and foremost, it's got to be, if you like one sport or you love one sport more than the other, that's got to be the first and foremost. You got to enjoy. You got to have fun with what you're doing. If you're playing a sport just to play a sport because you feel like you have to, or you feel like you're better at it, and you don't enjoy it, at the end of the day, you're not going to get out of it what you want to get out of it. So
Exactly.
you got to enjoy what you're doing. You got to have fun with what you're doing. That would probably be my message to a lot of kids choosing between two.
And I 1,000% agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely, Mace. Thanks for having me on. Man, I really appreciate you reaching out and let us talk for a little bit about kind of me and I appreciate everything. That's what you're doing.